everyone. It's Super Limey or Spooky Limey for the fun month of October. I'm so excited for Halloween this year. I get to dress my daughter up for Halloween for the first time. Last year, I couldn't dress her up because my daughter was born prematurely. Yes, I am a mom. She was born prematurely, so she was too small, and the only costumes that would fit would have been like Build-A-Bear costumes, which is not easy to find. I would have had driven so far for it. So she didn't get a costume last year. She was too small. So this year we're gonna do a family costume, all dressed up. It'll be so much fun. Here today I'm doing a spooky fall season house. It's not exactly spooky. I would just call it like fall. It was a fall build. I thought about making it like Victorian, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go more Addams Family style gothic here today. It is kind of Victorian, but it's just a little bit, I don't know, more usable in some senses of the word. I do have a lot of Victorian houses on my gallery if you're like interested on that. There's some of them that are even base game if you don't have a lot of packs. This one I do use different packs because I've been doing a lot of base game builds lately. They'll be coming out on my channel soon because I've been working on my save and I've been doing Newcrest, so I wanted Newcrest actually to be all base game. I thought it was fun that way, and I've been doing a lot of different styles, so there'll be more up. So here I was I was looking for windows, and I swear it was gonna take me it took me like a half an hour or more for windows, so I just cut to here where I already had the windows picked out, and I moved it to Newcrest because building in Forgotten Hollow is painful with the lighting. Every time it drives me nuts. Here I actually took a break and installed Twisted Mexie's mod because I was tired of looking for rocks, and I ended up not using these rocks anyway because I don't think they fit the vibe well enough, and I switched to cats and dogs rocks, and I cut out like me placing all of them. There it is. So I cut myself placing all these. Honestly, it wasn't that interesting. It was pretty much the same process, just with these rocks. So, and I love landscaping. I feel like it made this house, like, it looks so cool in Forgotten Hollow. You'll see that at the end when it's, like, screenshot time. But it, like, looks like it belongs there so well. Which, you know what's, like, just so curious to me? Because it's, like, the terrain tools. So we all wanted terrain tools. It was all the YouTubers were asking for it. I'm not really. But, you know, like, I remember when the terrain tools are coming out, I didn't make videos or anything, but people kept begging and begging for terrain tools, and now I don't even know anyone that really uses them besides, like, the people who make crazy builds like Kate Emerald, which her builds are insane. Oh my god, I love them. But I always just think it's interesting that every time a pack comes out, the terrain tools are base game. Like, why haven't they made, like, a terrain tool base, like, a house or anything like that? You know, like, when you get the new world, why isn't there one without with the terrain tools in it? It just makes me curious. It's like you went into all this effort, and it's like, you know, Eco Lifestyle, they could have done it. I don't know, terrain tools came out a while ago now. And, like, they make such a cool difference on a house, and I know it's kind of, like, a lot of work, but maybe it has to do with how it, like, would run on certain computers. I'm not sure. Oh, and if you want to learn about terrain tools and how to use them, I learned from Kate Emerald's, terrain tool video, because, like, I watched her video, and she explained it so well that, like, I understood it, and basically, the day that I watched that video, I made a house with a terrain tool, and it was a dream. It was so easy. I loved it. It was so, like, just instantly I was like, ooh, I love using terrain tools now. So I don't use them on every build, but, like, when you want to make something like this, it's so fun, and it just, like, elevates the whole build. The only thing is placing rocks forever really is killer. It's a lot easier when you've got, like, the debug menu now, because, like, you can place these giant rocks that take up a lot more space, because I've done a few builds where I had to use the small rocks that they have in-game. I'm telling you, it was like 2 hours of me placing rocks, fiddling with them. Now I fill in a lot of, like, the holes and stuff with bushes when I'm done. I'm just like, okay, this looks fine. I wanted to see this in fall. I still haven't done that yet. I'm actually playing with this house right now in the vampire, like, Forgotten Worlds. I'm actually playing with vampires because I haven't done it, and I've owned that pack since it pretty much came out. I'm not huge on the gameplay though, so I was like, I'll try it out, and I've actually been having quite a bit of fun with it. One thing I will say about this house is that it's kind of small, and normally I play in like big open houses, unless it's like my starter home. But this home, I actually had fun playing in a small home for a change. It doesn't have necessarily a living room, and that was one thing that was like I found like annoying at first, but then when I started playing with it, I was like, oh, I don't need it. I did end up putting a movie room in afterwards in the I did a basement. That's not in here. I can upload it with a basement if people would want, but I'll just put the regular one up for now. I'll tell you where I put the ladder. I put a ladder down. I just thought it like kind of ruined the vibe if I uploaded it like that, and if people want it, they can. But I was doing fine without it. I just added it after like they made a bunch of money and stuff. The thing that's cool about it not having the living room right down here is, your kid does homework at the table, and then the dad will, read a book beside him, and it was fun. I was like, wow, this is actually like how it's supposed to work, because normally you tell your Sims to eat, and then they go off into the middle of nowhere for some reason, even though the dining room table's right there. And it just doesn't make sense. Oh, I was using these movie hangout chairs. I love them so much. And if you can't tell, the whole place is kind of monochromatic. I just wanted to do something. I don't normally do monochromatic builds. I try and put Cops color and stuff like that. This time I was like, I'm going to do monochromatic, and then I'll do all the fall accents. So the accent color here is very much orange. But I think it turned out really cute. Like, it's kind of like how if I had a fancy house, I would want to decorate it. I don't know, my apartment has skeletons around it all the time already, so we're going into spooky season that way. It was just fun because I don't normally get to use all these decorations for seasons. Because like I always was like, it's okay. I don't need to put it out because I'm just gonna take it down, and I don't really enjoy like some of the calendar stuff on seasons. Sometimes it's just more annoying because if you don't do like a couple things, then all of a sudden your Sim's sad for like 3 days, and it's just a pain in the butt. But I don't know. I was like, I want a fall house. Like, this is just like dedicated to being a fall house. Oh, so the ladder to the basement, where I put that season's light in the dining room, that's where I had put it when I was playing. If that's something you wanted to do, if you were gonna play with this house, and also if you're like, there's too many packs. I do have quite a few base game homes, and I'm gonna be releasing a base game starter, another base game starter, and I do have one coming out for the spooky season that is just base game and vampires. It does have seasons just for pumpkins, so if you don't have seasons and you have vampires, you can get it, and the pumpkins just won't be on the lot when you get it. There's not tons of them anyway. This is me doing the upstairs. I had to be kind of finicky with this floor plan. I wanted for sure 2 bedrooms because I didn't want it just to be like a 1-bedroom home. So I was just trying to figure out where the bathroom goes and how I get 2 bedrooms to work. And then I was kind of like fiddling around for a bit, and I wanted that upstairs space to be usable. So I did it, and I finally got this all set up. Again, this is kind of monochromatic, but I think it's fun. And here I think that's the season's bed, and I'm gonna make my own headboard. I'll show you how to do that when that comes up on the footage. Also, those $50 doors are a lifesaver, and the $50 door and $50 lights, thank you SimSteam for making something cheap. Because it used to be so hard to get like cheap lights. This isn't a starter. I think it's like 50 to 60,000, and that would be my guess. But I mean, that's not that bad, honestly, for the price of the home, and you could just cheat anyway. But again, it's all spooky vibes. I don't know. I kind of wanted it to feel like that, and I got to use that cool Parenthood wall. I really like that wallpaper. I think it's interesting. And this is just me doing like the kids' room. I'm trying to make it like a kids' room, but like, aesthetic. Then this is where I kind of do some Halloween decorations. I was like, oh, it's a upstairs room, up where like, I know it seems kind of weird to have like the computer up there. When I was playing with it, it was fine. I kind of like just the vibe of it anyway, and it's like the kids' little hideaway, and the parents go up there anyways. But yeah, this was like, I'm gonna hang up little decorations everywhere. So that's like the spooky room. And that's Parenthood stuff. I just got Parenthood actually. Maybe a couple months ago when it was on sale. And I don't know, I only buy packs now when they're on sale unless I really want it. And I really wanted like eco lifestyle, so I got that. But Parenthood, it went on sale and I finally caved. Oh, making the headboard, making the footboard. If you get the beds without the headboard and footboard, you can go into debug and find a fence, and you can size some of them down, or you can just if some of them are just the perfect size anyway. I believe this one I didn't have to size down, and you can make a little headboard out of it. And I think it's cool because it's like you have a custom bed that's not actually custom, but the debug objects your Sims can just walk through, so that's honestly, like, it doesn't interfere at all. I played with this a whole bunch and it didn't bug them at all. I put the plants there so the Sims wouldn't spawn up there, because if you don't put something up there, it just like. So I should have put something under the stairs there, because sometimes the Sims will get stuck under there. I'm sure you've ran into that glitch. It happens in like a lot of the houses. I could have left the things on under the stairs, but it saves money. This is me just adding more decorations. I also added lights all around outside. I don't know if that's in the footage or not, but it is in the actual build all along the path. And this is me just lighting it up, and then I'm going to cover it in vines to make it feel a little more spooky. I love this house. I think it looks so good in Forgotten Hollow. I've been trying to redo all of the worlds, and just like working on my save file for myself, just for fun. And I really haven't done much in Forgotten Hollow. I've done a lot of Victorian homes and stuff, but I use those usually in Willow Creek. I kind of put them in the goth neighborhood, for accents. But now it's like I want to make actual spooky houses that stay in Forgotten Hollow, because I feel like the ones that are just Victorians, and it's like you already have that in Strangerville and in Willow Creek. So this is kind of Victorian, but, with a fall twist on it. I think it turned out really well, actually. And anyway, here we go. It is almost our time for screenshots. Have a good day.